Hey all you lean eating machines, welcome to Kamikaze Cooking with Kathryn, chicken broth style. So it is kind of mid-July and I am out of my homemade chicken broth. So I needed to whip up a new pot or two, and I was going to show you how I did it. So I get what they call soup parts from Old Century Meats, and their chicken is pasture raised, which means it's never eaten any soy or corn. It just eats what's off the land, basically. And it has no hormones and no antibiotics. So I kind of bring these two pots to a boil, and then I add my own spices. I do it different every time. There's no recipe. And I start with salt, pepper, and some garlic. And I like a little bit of parsley in almost all my stuff. Then I get herbs de Provence, which is like a chicken herb base, and then onion powder and some bay leaves. And I grab some other pure black pepper and then some mixed peppercorns to add in. This is just the salt. The last thing was garlic. And let's jump to our pepper. Now these are the mixed peppercorns. You can be as generous as you want. I mean, chicken broth is pretty salty. I tend to make mine less salty because I do salt my meals when I make them. And a lot of times, I mean, I use this chicken broth as base to a lot of things. I put it in my pot roast. I put it in lasagna. I put it in mixed veggies. Like, I just go to town with this stuff because it is so good. Put a good amount of parsley in each one. Here's a little secret. When you are putting spices into something hot, many times it is not great to hold the spice bottle over the steam, because the steam gets up into the spice bottle and promotes condensation, which promotes clumping. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Look who put this over something, and see all those big clumps? That is from condensation, so that's a no-no. Try not to do that. All right, let's go with the rest of our spices. All right, we've got most of the rest of our spices in there, and this started to boil faster than this one because it's a smaller pot. So I've turned it down to about medium, and I will reduce it a little bit later. I'm going to actually turn this one back up until it boils, and then we will just let it simmer. I mean, for a couple of hours, really. The longer the better. It just makes a really, really good broth. There is one little secret ingredient that I love. This is actually Zoe's spice that they used to cook their chicken in at Zoe's. So I really, really, really love to put a little bit of this in there. It gives it that Mediterranean flavor. It's an old black pepper bottle, but I just keep my spices in there. So I'll show you the finished product when we're done. Here is kind of what they look like as they're simmering. And literally just leave it on the stove for a pretty long time. Just let it simmer and deliciously cook. And now, when they're both done, you can just start the process of filling up some Tupperwares. I use my old goat cheese containers, and then put the tops on them, put them in a big box, and take them down to the deep freeze. Now that took longer than expected, so get out there and enjoy that beautiful